Hey guys, it's Julia. So in today's video, I'm so excited to be showing you guys an amazing dupe that I found for the Too Faced Just Peachy Mattes palette. So I absolutely adore this palette. I included it in my September favorites video and in the video I did before that, the best new released eyeshadow palettes of 2017. So I got this like 2 weeks ago. I've been using it very often. I really do enjoy this palette very much. However, I did find an amazing dupe for it in my collection, and it's only $10. So that's a $35 price difference, because this one is $45, you get 12 shades. And the dupe that I found is $10, and you still get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You get 10 shades in this palette. So in today's video, I did an eyeshadow look. On this side, I used the Too Faced palette, and on this side, I did the dupes. So honestly, I don't think you can really tell a difference. I really love how this look turned out. So right now, I'm going to share with you guys the dupes that I found. So here's the Too Faced Just Peachy Mattes palette. This palette has pretty much been taking YouTube by storm lately because it's such a good palette. Really gorgeous warm tone shades. You have a lot of really nice transitions. It's all mattes. So beautiful. And then the dupe that I found for it is the e.l.f. Matte for Matte eyeshadow palette in Summer Breeze. So this is the Matte for Matte 2 palette. Again, you have a really beautiful color scheme of peachy tones, all warm tone shades and all mattes. I didn't actually originally think these were going to be dupes for each other. When I got the Too Faced palette, I was like, this seems kind of similar. And I realized it's because the color schemes are very similar. Of course, you have the peach tone shades here, a lot of really nice transitions, and then this one, you still have those peach tone shades, and you also have that purple tone shade here. So that can kind of replicate the burgundy, like cranberry shades in here. There's also a lot of shades that swatch exactly the same on my arms, so I'm going to insert a picture that I did here. Okay guys, so real quick, I just wanted to go through all the shades that I found were dupes from the two palettes. So the first shade is in the Just Peachy Mattes palette called Peach Butter. This is dupe by shade number 1. It's a pinky toned off-white cream shade, perfect for setting your primer. Peach Tea is dupe by shade number 3. This is a warm neutral brown transition shade. Just Peachy is dupe by shade number 4. It's a peachy pink light transition shade. Fresh Picked is dupe by shade number 6. It's a darker peachy pink shade. Peach Cobbler is dupe by shade number 7. It's a warm terracotta brown. I absolutely love this shade. Just Ripe is dupe by shade number 8 in the e.l.f. palette. This is like a burgundy berry shade. They don't look like dupes in the pans, but however, later on in the tutorial, you'll see that it totally performs the same way on the eyes. And then Chocolate Dipped is duped by shades number 9 and 10. I like to mix those together to form a neutral chocolate brown. So if you mix the two shades together, it will really form a good dupe for that one. Of course, swatches don't really matter if they don't look the same on the eyes, so I thought today in this video we were going to test that out. So I created this eyeshadow look, and I'm going to show you guys how I did it using these two palettes as dupes. Okay, so let's get started with the tutorial. I'm going to be using the Too Faced palette on this eye, and then the e.l.f. palette on this eye. I use the same eyelid primer on both eyes. I use the Urban Decay primer potion, just so that both sides would have a fair shot. I'm going to be using the same brushes for each side, and I'm going to be using the color switch to just clean off the brush in between uses. Let's get started. I'm going to start off with the Too Faced Just Peachy palette. First off in the Too Faced palette, I'm going to take a blending brush, and then I'm going to go for the shade here called Peach Butter. And I'm just going to lightly dust this all over my eyelids so I can set the eyelid primer. In the e.l.f. palette, I'm going to use the lightest shade right here to do the same thing. Okay, the Too Faced palette, I'm going to use the shade right here called Peach Tea. Just use a blending brush and brush that all over as my transition shade. In the e.l.f. palette, I'm going to be using the second shade right here to do the same thing, use it as my transition shade. The e.l.f. one is definitely not as pigmented as the one in the Too Faced palette, however, it is still workable. It's a very light shade, so I don't expect a huge amount of pigment, but I'm building it up and it's looking pretty much the exact same. Okay, in the Too Faced palette, I'm going to go for the shade right here called Fresh Picked. And I'm going to localize the shade right above the crease, kind of focusing it on the outer corner. I'm going to localize the shade right here on right above the crease, kind of localizing it towards the outer corner, because we're going to be doing a more outer corner smoky eye look for this one. Ooh, that's gorgeous. Okay. Oh, wow. Okay, I like that. With my e.l.f. palette, I'm going to go right into this shade right here. This is the 6th shade in the palette. The e.l.f. one has a little bit more of a pink undertone, but they're still pretty much the same color. This one's just a little bit warmer and more orange. Okay, so my camera died. I had to go charge it. It's been about 30 minutes since I last recorded something, so I haven't done anything to my eyes, obviously. I just went upstairs and watched RuPaul's Drag Race videos. Using my Too Faced palette, I'm actually going to get into the shade right here called Peach Cobbler. It's kind of like a warm terracotta peachy brown. I don't know how to describe it other than that. And I'm just going to kind of dust it right above my crease. It's very orangey. So I'm just dusting it right above my crease, kind of focusing on the outer corner. And I'm going to actually move it in closer to the inner once we've gotten rid of some of the pigmentation on the outer corner. Alright, now in my e.l.f. palette, I'm going to go into this kind of like mustardy brown, orangey warm tone shade here and just do the same thing. This one is a little bit lighter than the one in the Too Faced one, so I'm going to have to build it up a little bit more. And it's not as pigmented, but it still blends very well. So now in the Too Faced palette, I'm going to go for the shade right here called Just Ripe. It's like a nice deepened blackberry, cranberry, burgundy red, I guess. And I'm going to go in with a really small blending brush and just kind of focus this on the very outer corner of the eye. I make sure this is very blended and diffused. I'm loving this look so far. We have a really nice diffused, kind of blended out, peachy, smoky eye. Yeah, you would need to, so yeah, a little goes a long way with this shadow. It's very pigmented. You just need a little bit. And it looks absolutely gorgeous. Just gonna go back in, blend everything out. That's beautiful. All right, in the e.l.f. palette, I'm gonna go for the purple shade right here. Purples are a little bit harder to formulate, so I don't know if this one's gonna be good, especially since it's affordable. Yeah, it's definitely not as pigmented as the Too Faced one, but I was expecting that. It is still very blendable, so you're gonna have to build it up a little bit, but still a very nice result. Yeah, just a little bit more. I love how this look is turning out. So just to finish off the upper part of my eye, I'm gonna go into the shade Peach Butter again. And I'm just gonna lighten up the inner part where we left the eyelid bare, just to give it more of like a faux cut crease look without actually doing a physical cut crease. Taking off my brush, then I'm gonna go into that same light shade in the e.l.f. palette. Do the exact same thing. It's literally the same color. And then finally, I just want to finish up under the eyes. So I'm going to use these shades Peach Cobbler and Fresh Picked and just go with a small brush underneath the eyes. Then the e.l.f. palette's a lot easier. I'm just going to go into these two shades next to each other right here. The warmer mustardy brown and the darker peach. Not as pigmented, you do need to build them up a little bit more. And then they're not as exactly warm as the ones in the Too Faced, but they are still a very nice warm tone palette. Ooh, okay, I think I want to make the under eye a little bit darker, so I'm going to go back into the shade Just Ripe. Very, very light touch. And just, yeah, that's really nice. And then same thing, I'm going to use the purple shade. Gorgeous. So I'm just going to pop on some lashes and some mascara, and then I will give you guys my final thoughts. Okay, so here's the finished look. I just popped on my Kim Tai Lionhearted lashes, the Urban Decay Perversion mascara, and then this lipstick is the ColourPop Lippie Sticks in the shade Only You. So finishing thoughts, I think honestly you can't really tell that I used two different eyeshadow palettes on each eye. I think these are definitely amazing dupes. You do get some more shades in here that you don't get in here, and then of course there are some shades in here that you can't find in here, for example, like the red shades. So overall, I had such a fun time making this video. I think this is an amazing dupe, and I'm so glad that I could find a good dupe for you guys that is affordable. So if you can't necessarily go out and splurge on a $45 eyeshadow palette, there's an amazing $10 dupe for it. So let me know which side you like better in the comments. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you like it, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe down below. Let me know what you think about these two dupes, and thank you so much for watching. If you made it to the very end of this video, I love you. Bye.